Alright everybody, welcome back. Just when everyone thought one of the biggest NBA stories of the offseason was finally over, it took another shocking turn. The Toronto Raptors have reportedly refused to complete the Kawhi Leonard trade, at least under the current conditions. After weeks of assuming Kawhi was headed back to the city where he won a championship, Toronto has effectively said, no, we good, bro. But why is it, right? Was it about Kawhi's age, his injuries, or is there something much bigger happening behind the scenes? Today we're breaking down exactly why Toronto made this decision, what it means for the Clippers, what it means for Kawhi, and why this could end up changing the balance of power across the entire NBA. And so let's get one thing out the way, right? If this was purely a basketball decision, Toronto probably completes this trade like yesterday. A healthy Kawhi Leonard, even at 35 years old, is still one of the league's elite two-way players. He averaged nearly 28 points per game last season while remaining one of the NBA's best playoff performers when he is healthy. The Raptors knew exactly what player they were getting and what they were trading for. The problem wasn't Kawhi, the player, it was Kawhi, the legal risk. The NBA told Toronto that if they completed the trade before the Clippers investigation concluded, the Raptors, not Los Angeles, would assume the risk of any league discipline affecting Leonard after the trade. That uncertainty led Toronto to wait rather than finalize the deal. That completely changed the calculations of everything. Imagine trading Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, multiple first-round picks. And now that's going to be hella awkward, by the way. But only for Kawhi to receive a lengthy suspension or face unforeseen league penalty. Suddenly, you've traded away your future for a player who can't even help you. That's not just bad luck, that's franchise altering. And so Toronto is protecting their future. This move tells us something important about Toronto's front office, right? They're thinking long term. It's easy for the fans to say, just take the risk. But general managers don't get to gamble with 10 years of organizational planning. That general manager will be fired real quick. Think about the assets Toronto already agreed to move. That's an all-star caliber scorer, a young shooter, a valuable future draft capital. If Kawhi becomes unavailable after the trade, Toronto has no way to recover these assets. They're simply gone. The Raptors aren't saying we don't want Kawhi. What they are saying is we want the same Kawhi everyone agreed to trade for, not a version whose availability could suddenly change because of an unresolved investigation. That is a big difference. And so this actually hurts the Clippers, right? And why is that? Because ironically, the Clippers may be suffering the most because now they're stuck. They've already emotionally moved on from Kawhi. The league knows they're trying to trade him. Other teams know it. Players know it. And yet he remains on the roster because of circumstances largely outside the basketball negotiations. And so that creates uncertainty. How do you build training camp? How do you prepare rotations? Do you build around Kawhi or prepare for life after him? Meanwhile, Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, those players remain in limbo, right? Because nobody knows where they'll actually begin the season. That's a difficult position for everyone involved. And so the biggest winner in this just might be the Eastern Conference. Because if Toronto doesn't land Kawhi, the East suddenly looks different, right? Instead of becoming a legitimate championship contender overnight, the Raptors remain a talented but still developing team. That makes life way easier for teams like Philly, New York, Boston, Milwaukee, Indiana. Just think, the East is deep right now. This is just one less team for everyone to worry about. And so instead of preparing for a Raptors team with Kawhi Leonard and Scotty Barnes, they're facing a much less intimidating opponent. That's a massive swing in conference power. One front office decision affects every contender. But this situation also sends a very powerful message to every general manager. Do not ignore uncertainty. For years, we've seen teams gamble on injured stars. Now they're being forced to consider something different. League investigations, contract uncertainty, potential disciplinary actions. Those aren't normal trade risks. They're impossible to accurately value, right? Toronto basically told the league, we'll gladly make this trade once everyone knows what we are buying. Because everybody calm down, because this trade can absolutely still happen. Many around the league still expect it to happen eventually, right? Once the investigation is complete. The uncertainty disappears. Then Toronto can evaluate Kawhi based solely on basketball. If nothing significant comes from the investigation, the original deal could still move forward. But if penalties are issued, everything changes. Toronto could renegotiate, reduce the draft compensation, ask for additional protections, or just walk away entirely. And so everyone slow down on Toronto. Slow down on the six. This is not fair, right? This is Toronto backing out because Kawhi is getting older. This is smart risk management. The Raptors already know what Kawhi can do. He delivered them the greatest season in their history. But championships are not won by making emotional decisions. They're won by making disciplined ones. And today, Toronto chose discipline over desperation. Now the pressure shifts squarely onto the NBA, because until this investigation reaches its conclusion, one of the biggest trades in recent NBA history remain frozen. And with every day that passes, the future of the Raptors, the future of the Clippers, the future of Kawhi, and perhaps the future of the entire championship picture remains uncertain. And so, if you enjoy this kind of video, like, subscribe, because we are this close to 100 subscribers, and we're gonna get there together. I'm telling you, I'm hustling. We're gonna get there together.